knockouts. You know, if that was the case, his face would look like mush. You know, when he's moving his head, he's jabbing.
He's slick. A lot of people too, like.
Since he knocked people out so much, people forget that he's a good boxer.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter of this era. You know, he's my favorite fighter of this era. So, as friends, as business, in boxing, Terence Crawford wins.
But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right.
Mike Tyson warned Canelo after seeing Terence Crawford's intense training. Tyson said every fighter has their own style, but some, like Crawford, develop a killer instinct when it matters most. With his mix of aggression and discipline, Tyson believes Crawford is ready for war. That's why Canelo might not be able to handle his hunger and drive.
That long ago. That's what's so crazy.
Listen, most of these guys, Alexander Green, Hannibal, Genghis Khan, we have their DNA. That's why some people are savages to some, because we have these guys' DNA. These guys conquered the world, and look who what level we are. We have their seeds. We have them. Some people, like they have those psychopaths. Some people love killing people. Some people love eating people. Some people don't, just like animals, some animals get domesticated quicker than others. And the same in human beings. Some of them get domesticated quicker than others. And some of them just never get domesticated. They're just what they are.
So it's genetically passed down, their makeup.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think the way we're so attached to our phones is going to lead to us being attached to some electronic thing that we wind up accepting in our body.
No, listen,
and it's going to change what people are.
Like some iRobot shit, honestly? You think
Yeah, legitimately. Like some kind of cyborg
if all of us
shit.
right now, if our phones stop now, we would start fighting for some reason. Before we figured this shit out, if our phones started now, we would for some reason find reasons to fight.
We're so distracted by phones. But I think the thing about phones is you accept the fact that everybody has one. You accept the fact you always have it on you. So it might as well be a part of your body. It's just not connected. And one day it will be. One day they're going to figure out how to put a thing on your head that makes your brain work way better. And a few people are going to do it, and they're going to have a big advantage. And then we're all going to do it.
But until then, your phone will be like your will. When you die, take my phone, son.
To prepare for his biggest fight, Crawford is sparring with Carlos Adams, a strong middleweight known for power and nonstop pressure. Crawford knows Canelo is naturally bigger, so he's training his body and mind to handle heavy punches. By facing Adams in sparring, he's building toughness and sharpening his counterpunching. This shows Crawford's smart approach. He's preparing not just physically, but tactically.
So here's a video that many people have sent me to determine in their mind that Terence Bud Crawford would lose to Canelo Alvarez, or is going to lose September 13th to Canelo Alvarez, as he is sparring here middleweight WBC world champion Carlos Adames, who is 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins by way of knockout. And people are saying that Carlos Adames, who's 5'11" with a 73-inch arm reach, is having his way with Terence Bud Crawford. And this is an indication that the 168-pound Canelo Alvarez, who's 5'7" with a 70-inch arm reach, is going to have the same type of success and knock Terence Crawford out. But what people are not paying attention to is Terence Crawford is standing right in front of Carlos Adames and taking the big punches from Carlos Adames as he's standing in the pocket and counterpunching him and taking his blows at a smaller weight class while competing at 147. Now he bulked up. What y'all think?
Oscar de la Hoya thinks Canelo's aggressive style could backfire. He says Canelo will bring pressure, but Crawford's skill and ability to adapt could expose him. De La Hoya compared it to how Mayweather and Bivol beat Canelo by using defense, distance, and intelligence. Crawford, with his ability to switch stances, sharp counters, and high fight IQ, has many ways to win. While Canelo depends on power and volume, Crawford could use his technique to break him down.
Feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
That's the million-dollar question. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters.
Yeah.
He's not getting rattled at all.
Nah.
Berlanga's a big kid.
Yeah.
So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him hard.
Right.
But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem. And Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't
a
you
lot
think
of...
Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fight? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet.
Obviously, Canelo has the power to hurt anyone.
In this game, power means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you, or you don't know how because it's too much pressure.
Right.
And the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know, and he doesn't run. And he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm going to fight you.
Some compare Crawford to Alexander Usyk. Usyk, a smaller man at heavyweight, beat bigger fighters like Anthony Joshua by using speed, movement, and confidence instead of trying to match their power. Experts say Crawford should do the same with Canelo. Focus on his own strengths like timing, accuracy, and ring control. Instead of trying to be stronger, he should trust his skills and fight smart. Like Usyk, sticking to his style could be the key to beating a bigger opponent.
Evaluate him bulking up and say, you know what? Nah, Terence Crawford, if you want a chance, not just to survive, but a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez, you have to be you. Just like Alexander Usyk was himself to face muscle machines like Anthony Joshua, big, tall enigma in the heavyweight division like Tyson Fury. Now, let me quickly give you an example of what I'm talking about. See, when Alexander Usyk fought Anthony Joshua, right? He weighed in at 221. Joshua was 244, giving up 20 pounds, over 20 pounds, almost 25 pounds, right? Alexander Usyk didn't chase Anthony Joshua in terms of trying to bulk up. Oh man, I'm gonna fight this heavyweight. His power is gonna be more than me. His weight, he could overwhelm me with his weight, his height, you know, his power. No, I gotta be the most comfortable fighter I could be. I gotta be comfortable under my own skin. I'm not gonna beat him off power. I gotta beat him off speed. I gotta beat him off movement. I gotta beat him off adjustments. I gotta beat him off IQ. Right? So Alexander Usyk didn't have to bulk up to be successful. Now look at this one. Look at when he fought Tyson Fury. He kept the same energy, he kept the same mindset, and it still got him to become an undisputed heavyweight champion.
Coach Joel Diaz believes Crawford's skills will trouble Canelo from the start, but he also says this fight is huge for Crawford financially. Crawford has dominated in different weight classes, but never had a fight this big. This match brings not just legacy, but also life-changing money. The pressure will be massive, but if Crawford wins, he'll secure generational wealth and reach a new level of fame and respect.
The dollars that he deserved to make, and became friends with Turki Al-Sheikh, which Turki Al-Sheikh announced it publicly. Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter of this era. You know, he's my favorite fighter of this era. So, as friends, as business, in boxing, Terence Crawford wins. Yeah. But he wins money. Because now, hey, you know what? As my friend that you are, I make you an offer. Would you fight Canelo? I'll give you 40 million. I don't know if it's 40, I don't know if it's 50, 60, but he's not going to make no less than $10 million. So right there, Crawford's winning, regardless. As a fighter, like, dude, you give me 20 million, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight Anthony Joshua right now. Yeah. So Terence Crawford has to sell the fight. He has to say, I'll beat Canelo, left and right, whatever, right? But we've seen it we've seen it many, many times. When fighters move up 2 divisions to be the champion, they fail. Yeah. I mean, I saw it with Mikey Garcia when he fought Earl Spence. I saw it when Demetrius Andrade, a 147-pounder, was avoided for years. He moved to 54. He was avoided. He moved to 160. He fought maybe once or twice. Nobody wanted to fight him, so he moves to 68 and fights Benavidez. What happens? He looked good for the first 3 rounds because he's good. But once that heavy monster is coming at you, he'll destroy you.
Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's top young stars, is confident Crawford can beat Canelo. He says size won't matter because both fighters are about the same height, and Crawford has already adjusted to the higher weight. To Stevenson, this fight is about skills, not size. He believes Crawford's speed, conditioning, and mental toughness cancel out Canelo's physical advantages. His confidence shows that even the new generation of fighters sees Crawford as capable of taking down boxing's biggest name.
Cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is going to be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so. No.
Corey, how you got a decision to stoppage? Because Bradman and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop him.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud can crack too. So.
Not everyone agrees, though. Some analysts say Crawford hasn't fought enough big-name opponents compared to Canelo. Outside of beating Errol Spence Jr., most of Crawford's past rivals weren't global superstars. They argue Canelo's experience on the biggest stages makes him a different challenge altogether. In their eyes, Crawford is stepping into unknown territory, and while talented, he's never faced someone with Canelo's resume and toughness.
What about Bud? Though I think Bud is an elite fighter and got mad skills, I ain't impressed with nobody he's beaten or fought. I'm not. Earl Spence is the only credible fighter that I put on his resume that I feel like, now that motherfucker right there, okay, you beat him, you're legit. But let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. I will say this to the day I fucking die, nigga. And I will say it screaming from the rooftops. And I will be 90 years old and still saying this shit. I'm not giving him no motherfucking respect or props fighting a weight drained Earl Spence. Who took the fight. Not only did he have a broken orbital bone, he had eye surgery previously, had 2 fucking car crashes where he almost died. Though this is not Bud's fault. This ain't Bud's fault. It ain't Bud's fault that he had them car crashes and he was drinking or doing whatever the fuck he was doing. It ain't Bud's fault he got hurt in training and fucked his eye up and had to pull out of the Manny Pacquiao fight. That ain't Bud's fault. It ain't Bud's fault if it ain't Bud's fault that they put Earl Spence in the ring weight drain like that. That's Earl's fault. Earl waited for this motherfucker. He had been crying. I got videos on my channel. Have you not seen it? I got tons of videos on my channel.
Former champion Mickey Bay says this is a true 50-50 fight, which makes it so exciting. He explains that for Crawford, any win, whether close or dominant, will boost his legacy. For Canelo, it's more complicated. If he barely wins, people will question if he's slipping. To protect his reputation, Canelo needs to win clearly and convincingly. Crawford, on the other hand, benefits just by winning, even in a tight fight. This difference in pressure is what makes the matchup so fascinating.
He's trying to get the win. If he get the win, this could put him in that all-time status. You know what I mean? And you got Canelo like, damn, I can't lose to this little dude. So it's like, it's pretty much they both, Terence is he trying to get up on that Mount Rushmore. Then you got Canelo that's damn near like, man, I can't let this little dude beat me. That's gonna pull his legacy down a little bit. So you got both fighters, they got a different goal, but man, they both real good and both elite they both at their absolute prime, probably at the best, at the top of their game. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's just a matchup wise, skill wise, all around. Yeah, that's the best matchup right now.
Canelo beats Crawford. What does that do for Canelo? Crawford beats Canelo. What does that do for Crawford?
I think it's how Canelo got to beat Crawford. I don't think he got to like, if he could like stop Crawford, like it'll probably look good. But him just winning, I mean, he'll get his props, you know, from dudes like me and you probably. But I mean, it depends how he win. To me, Terence just got to win.
Recently, some talk around Crawford's preparation has sparked controversy. Headlines say his training is so good it feels like legal cheating. Of course, it's not actual cheating. It just means his discipline, conditioning, and strategy make him look almost unbeatable. Sparring with bigger fighters and pushing his limits has built a sense that he's more dangerous than ever. For Canelo, this is risky. If he loses, people will say it was expected, but if he wins, doubts may still linger. The hype paints Crawford as hungrier and sharper than ever before.
13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed world champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford had one fight at 154. That was against Israel Majimov, the WBA junior middleweight world champion, right? And since then, Terence Crawford has moved up now to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, okay? And so prior to that, he spent 5 years at what? Welterweight. So the concern that people have for Terence Crawford, rightfully so, is that Terence Crawford will be 38 years of age 2 weeks after the fight. So he's 37, okay? Terence Crawford has one fight at 154. Prior to that, Terence Crawford has been competing, okay, since 2018 for the last 7 years at 147. Since June of 2018, he's been fighting at 147. His only fight outside of that division in the last 5 to 6 years was his fight against Israel Majimov at 154, which he won, unanimous decision. I thought he handily won, but people thought that he struggled. Israel Majimov is now 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 wins by way of knockout because he lost his last fight to Mexican superstar, WBC junior middleweight interim champion, Virgil Ortiz Jr.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for the next update.